Welcome, shiny happy people, to Geek Salad episode 259, Glass Half Full. I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
I'm Joe.
I'm Catherine.
And tonight we are talking all about the things, those little endorphin rushes that we are able to get that are giving us joy in what it may possibly be one of the shittiest years of any of our existences. There are multiple reasons why. I will get into them. I'm actually going to be talking about some stuff that I haven't really brought to the public front here, but I think this is a good place to get them off my chest. But yeah, this has been an absolute God. What a cluster
shit show! This is. There's just no, and there are not enough adverbs and adjectives to describe what a shit year it's been.
Yeah, and
when we were talking about doing this episode, it was like things that have brought you joy this year, and I'm like, I almost never feel joy anymore. What are you talking about?
It's tough. It is really tough. When I feel joy, I know I feel joy. I know one thing that'll bring me joy, but I'm not going to bring it up on this podcast because it's not polite in public conversation.
Oh, Andy.
So now we all know.
Now we all know.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we are going to talk about some of the things that have really given us just like that a little bit of an endorphin rush where I feel like we really need it tonight. So let's take a look at the list here. I saw one. I kind of, if you don't mind me, taking lead here, because Joe and I both have something on our list.
Mm-hmm.
That both brought us. I think they brought everybody
immense joy.
Immense joy. And that is James Gunn's Superman.
It's what the superhero genre needed so badly in such a bad way.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I was listening to a podcast and they talked and they were going over the original 1978 Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking about that one, and then thinking about the Superman I just saw, and this may sound sacrilegious, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say the James Gunn Superman is actually the best Superman movie I've ever seen.
It's tough. I mean, I'm holding back only due to recency bias. I don't want to be accused of recency bias.
Yeah.
Right. No, that makes sense, but.
Kurt says hi to all of us.
Oh, hey, Kurt, welcome back. He was just on our Jaws 50 show, so he was just listening to our Jaws 50 show. So I'm glad he hung around. Tell your friends. So it's one of those things that from the moment we saw the first trailer, I watched that and I'm like, I'm gonna cry in front of my children watching this.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Catherine,
and I did.
You seen it yet?
Yeah, me too.
You've seen it, right, Catherine?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
good,
I did.
good.
We did go a few weeks ago. Oh yeah. I don't know if I would call it better than the 78, the original one that I saw growing up, but it definitely is a good successor. We're still hitting those right notes.
Yeah. You were saying, Joe?
Yeah, all I can say is I'm glad the theater was dark because I was a blubbering mess. But no, it's just I mean, Superman 78 and Chris Reeve is so hard, but so hard to follow up on. But this does such a good job of honoring the legacy but most importantly of all, understanding who the character is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, everything that Superman embodies is just like, it's what we need. It's what we needed, and James Gunn did it. And it's amazing because this movie has been in the works for 2 years now?
Yeah.
And just the time, the way it came out, with everything that's going on, it perfect. It just felt perfectly. It is a movie of its time.
Yes,
absolutely.
What I love about it. I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, when Superman confronts Lex, like at the end in his speech towards him, I'm like, that is something I think everybody needs to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. It just it got the character. It understood the character. It understood like. What I liked about it also was that it felt like we were actually in a lived-in universe.
Yeah. There was no need to introduce who this character was. Everybody knows who Superman is. They know his origin. They know he's from. He's a Kryptonian. They know that he grew up in Kansas, and his parents were Ma and Pa Kent.
Yeah.
But also, the fact that like they worked in the Justice Gang so seamlessly.
I loved that. I really love the Justice Gang.
Oh,
that
and Guy Gardner
should be against your code.
Oath. Yeah, it should be against your oath. It should be what against my what? I'll have you know, 348 chicks think otherwise.
We're of the cloth, which I have begun using.
Yeah. Nathan Fillion nailed that role. He was
everybody in this movie nailed it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know what the best part? Yep.
Did you know the actor who played Metamorpho is from Massachusetts? He's a Winchester boy.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd seen him for years. I think he actually appeared on Gotham at some point.
Yes.
He was on Barry.
Well, because he gets he's typecast pretty much.
He's typecast as Serbian gangsters, really.
Right.
So yeah. And he suffers from alopecia. And it was kind of, it's like, watching his interview, because they are, putting all this stuff on YouTube now because of the digital release. And it's like, oh, this is so nice for him. He gets to be part of this. And this is something too, and I know it's kind of a sick joy to say. Another thing I love about Superman 2025 is that is making the right people angry.
Exactly.
Yep.
And but the thing is, it also exposes who these people are. Yeah. Okay, Superman's a nice guy. He's empathetic. He's helping the helpless. That's a problem for you?
Yes, it is, because he's not letting a building fall over on people, or or I've watched so many takedown videos of Ben Shapiro's review of it, and all of them are like, you didn't watch the movie, did you? You've never read one of the comic books. You obviously didn't watch this movie.
Yeah. Ben Shapiro should understand that he should like this guy. And that was one of the other things I really appreciated about the movie, was showing that the character can be interesting while still being the Superman Boy Scout we need him to be.
Exactly. I do love the fact he was into punk rock, though, or like at least pop punk.
He's not a pop. Yeah, he's not going to be listening to the Sex Pistols, okay?
No.
And, Kurt does say one of my bright spots of this year is a movie based. One of my bright spots of the year is movie based, but it has to do with the Toxic Avenger, and I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, I'm meaning to watch that. I'm probably going to stream it, but I am definitely going to check that out, because come on.
I'm just happy that it's like the trauma film that will be getting the next kick, another kick at the can.
But yeah, I've seen the at least one trailer, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
A movie books, but I am absolutely going to watch this.
Nice.
Yeah, but back to Superman, it definitely is the movie for the moment, and the movie that comic book movies needed.
Yes.
Because let's be honest, there is a bit of comic book fatigue going on right now, or at least comic book movie fatigue.
Yeah.
And people just wanted something different than what the MCU was offering.
Yeah.
But they didn't want the Snyderverse either.
Right.
They wanted a little bit of that camp. It's like, okay, you're talking about a guy in a blue suit with red trunks being a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
But being earnest about it. Not, we're not talking Joel Schumacher camp, but
Right. And actually, I loved it because Bob Chipman's review of it was like, he opens up the review. He's like, they brought back the red trunks, 10 out of 10. And then he's like, oh, maybe I should explain myself. And he still ended up giving it a 10 out of 10 because, for everything that we've been talking about, it's just like, it's everything that those of us who did grow up on Superman and didn't want to turn him into, get him into the black suit immediately, really enjoyed about it, which is interesting because I made the mistake of checking out Jeremy Johns' review.
Oh God, no!
Of it, and he was just like, "I don't understand the point of the Justice Gang. What were they there for?" I'm like, "You didn't watch the movie either, did you?"
Yeah,
He has fallen so far off from me.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
but the one review that did surprise me was John Campius because he loved it. And he's a Snyderverse guy.
Yeah,
but he absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Well, good. Yeah, I think he gets it though.
I will also say this movie makes me really excited for Supergirl coming out next year. And, I mean, like I love Superman, but I've always been more of a Supergirl guy, and so I cannot wait for this.
The fact that she is a drunk party girl is amazing, and the fact that Crypto is actually
really fun.
Crypto is her dog, and it shows. It makes all the sense in the world because Crypto is a bad dog.
Yeah.
Except when he's a good dog.
The animated short is amazing.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet. I gotta watch that.
I didn't know there was one.
Oh my goodness! All right.
Where is it? Tell us where we can get it.
Hang on. My husband shared it a little while ago, so I could copy paste it into here, and then
we'll just have to watch it later. Oh goodness, cool. Hey, you're hearing it here first. All right, awesome. All right, well let's move on then from Superman. I'm just happy we all had it. Mike, why don't you take one of yours next?
All right. Well, I've really been getting into a genre of anime this year called Iyashike.
Okay.
It's basically, it literally translates as healing.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a slice of life genre, but it's like super laid back. It's just watching people go about their lives and just enjoying the moment. It's got a lot of like just scenery and all that. And I saw one called Super Cub. And it's all about this girl named Koguma who she's got both of her parents are dead. So she's living all on her own. She's got a very like almost no social life. She's basically just home, school, back home.
Yeah.
And so one day, as she's struggling to bicycle her way to school, she sees someone on a motorized bicycle, and so she's like, "Yeah, that looks interesting." So she goes to this little bike shop, and the guy there actually has a used Honda Super Cub.
Oh.
And just the moment she sits on it, and she just like grips the handlebars, the entire anime so far up to that point had been kind of muted color palette.
Mm-hmm.
The moment she grabs the handlebars, like there's a tone that plays, and all the colors just pop. They become more vibrant. They like light up, and it's just an amazing moment because it shows you, oh, she's actually finally found something that's going to give her life a little bit more color to it, and it's a really, really nice moment. And it's just like the anime is so quiet. Like there's literally no dialogue for the first 4 minutes of it. It's just showing her like how sad her life is at the moment, and just that one episode just shows you as she connects with a motorbike, it's just slowly going to improve her life as the episodes go along. So, yeah, it's a really nice little moment there.
That's cool.
Trip, just kind of making all the colors just like vibrate.
Yeah.
Really amazing.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And you just discovered that this year, right?
Yep. It's an anime from I think 2022.
Okay.
it's still fairly recent, but yeah, you can find it on Crunchyroll.
Oh wow.
It's
Okay.
only 12 episodes. And like I said, it's very quiet. It's very little dialogue for the most part, but it really works for me.
But pretty tidy.
Yes. In fact, there's an episode where all it does is it shows her doing a kind of a summer job where she drives from her school to a neighboring school, like maybe a couple hours away, dropping off some papers, and then coming back. And she just does that several times, and that's the entire episode.
Nice.
So it's very, very quiet, very slice of life. But it's these kind of anime have really been helping me keep a very. Sorry, hit my mic there.
Yeah, it's okay.
They've been really helping me like keep myself calm and relaxed.
Good. Joe, you're an Animaniac as well. Have you watched the Super Club yet?
No, not yet. I've actually my anime backlog is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Okay.
It's just I'm finding it very hard to do the things that I normally enjoy doing this year, just because it's like just the motivation. And again, we all know what's going on, and it's just like
right.
It's like why should I find joy? It's like one of those things like I have to force myself to find joy in something.
Yeah.
You know. So that's why it's like, okay, well, yeah, I can watch some Crunchyroll, but like I'm not really up for it right now. That type of thing.
Yeah, I get it.
So that's why Superman was such a big deal for me.
Yeah. I know. I was very excited. I was like, I know I need to talk to Joe about this after we watch this. Catherine, what do you got for us?
All right. So let's talk about. My husband brought up a TV series that we just heard about this year. It's from last year, 2024. It's called Chaos. Kaos.
Oh, I've seen stuff on Netflix for this.
Oh, they only got one season, but it was so good. So it was a British show, and mythological dark comedy. It's set in a relatively contemporary world where the Greek gods are still very active.
Oh, is this the one with Jeff Goldblum?
Yes.
Jeff Goldblum as Zeus.
That's right.
Suits and smoking jackets.
Yes, I've seen.
Amazing.
I've seen clips for this. I saw this one clip where he was talking to Hades. Hades was like lounging in the pool. I'm like, oh, I got to see this now.
Oh yeah, I've forgotten who played Hades, but yeah, I have the Wikipedia up. Hades is played by David Thewlis.
Thewlis, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he played Ares in Wonder Woman. So what the heck? He's just going through the roster.
Yeah.
We have Janet McTeer, who kills it as Hera. She's amazing. It's scary.
Well, Hera's supposed to be scary.
Yes, exactly. And like she plays, and all the stuff that I got raised on, the Greek myths you read when you're a kid in elementary school. She's just like slotted in the back row or like kind of touched on. Oh, she is scary. Poseidon is just kind of sad.
Well, it's pretty much like Greek mythology. Yeah, Poseidon's sad. Yeah, he's a sad sack. Hades is about the only one that's semi-functional.
Yeah. And we have Billy Piper as Cassandra.
Okay.
I
And
can see that.
Yeah. And Stephen Delane is Prometheus.
Okay.
Oh, now I gotta watch it.
Yeah. No, that sounds like it'd be right up my alley.
Oh God, it's so good, and it's like the twists and turns it takes, and we also have like it's focused around Eurydice, Orpheus, Ariadne, a lot of the classic characters. Medusa is so good. Debbie Mazar.
Oh, Debbie Mazar.
Debbie Mazar. Yeah, she's
really
so fantastic as Medusa. And they do a thing where she's kind of a prison warden character, and so her hair's done up in like a 50s working woman do-rag, which is how they get around not having to CGI her hair the whole time.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, that's great. Now you've sold me on it because I've been meaning to watch it.
Oh, and I forgot to mention that the Fates are all trans women.
Uh-huh.
Lachesis is played by Susie Eddie Izzard.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you've definitely sold me on this.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
It's
been
such a
lingering on
good time watching it.
Netflix, and I've been like, I gotta watch that. It's like the Decameron. I was like, oh, I gotta watch that. I gotta watch it. We finally sat and watched. It was like, fantastic. I'm glad we did this. But
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, my coworkers
no,
were telling me about it too.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, we had such a good time because you get a lot of laughs, but there's a really good meaty story underneath it, and it's
Nice.
just yeah.
Okay, I'll put that on
Plus
my
Jeff
list.
Goldblum as Zeus.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, just that.
Yeah.
It's better than Norman Fell as Zeus.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum as Zeus. Just,
Yeah.
And yet there's still scenery left.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Joe, you got something else besides Superman you want to talk about?
I do. I got a couple of things, but the first one I kind of want to talk about, kind of near and dear to my heart and to who I am as a person, kind of, or a part of me as a person. And that is Bad Bunny. For those who don't know or been living under a rock for the last 2 years, Bad Bunny is a salsa artist / rapper / actor, and right now he's doing a residency in Puerto Rico, basically a 30-day 30 concert residency in Puerto Rico, which has set the island on metaphorical fire, and it's become like one of the biggest concert series the world has ever seen. And the reason why it brings me joy is, Puerto Rico is like, everybody knows that Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, but it sits in that kind of gray area where, well, it's not a state, but it's a little bit more than a colony, but not quite. And yeah, Puerto Rico residents have American citizenship, but they can't, they can't vote in federal elections.
Right. You have none of the benefits.
We get none of the benefits, right? Right. And the island was practically destroyed during Hurricane Maria.
Mm-hmm.
And the outgrowth of that was, that the island is having a wicked hard time recovering. One, because of a lot of the laws that the U.S. imposes on it.
Right.
That, things like the Jones Act. There's a whole history. Basically, the colonization that has been taking place in Puerto Rico for the last century and a half, or the last century, has been accelerated to 1,000. When you have people like Logan Paul moving to the island and touting, and bragging about it because they can take advantage of the tax benefits that Americans can get for moving to the island, and you're starting to see like the crypto bros, and and then you're seeing a lot of gentrification where, the island's residents can afford, the average salary in Puerto Rico, the average income is like 25 to 30,000.
Yeah.
But now housing's going for 350 to 400,000. And so basically the people of the island are being priced out of their own home.
Right.
And what Bad Bunny's concert's doing is lit this fire and celebrating the island, the culture, and the people of the island. Has just renewed this pride that they have not felt or seen in decades. And because it's getting so much worldwide attention, it's also bringing a lot of attention to the actual, not just to the island and its beauty and, what it has to offer, but all the wrong things that are being done to the island itself.
Right. Yeah.
And, like the title of his residency is called, in Spanish is No me quiero ir de aquí, which is loosely translated means I don't want to leave. I never want to leave. And it's a lot of things. It's something that a lot of people in the Puerto Rican diaspora, they have to, it was the same case with me. My mom brought me to the mainland because this is where all the opportunities were. You know, she brought me to Massachusetts because it had the best schools and it had the best chances. And a lot of young people in Puerto Rico feel that way, that they have to leave because there's nothing for them there. And
in fairness, though, Joe, I'm kind of glad she did, because that means that we get to have you.
We get you.
I'm I don't regret any bit of the last 40 years that I've spent in Massachusetts, but there's always this part of me, like, it calls home, and Puerto Rico will always be my home. It's where I was born. It's where I spent the first 10 years of my life. It's where my family is. And seeing Bad Bunny and the effect he's having it brings so much joy to my heart.
Yeah.
And the other part of it too is that, a couple years ago, I took my family to the island. We spent a week down in Puerto Rico, and I took going from the airport to the Airbnb. We took the scenic. We took one of the scenic routes where we were going up along the road was pretty much along the beaches.
Yeah.
And it was a Friday afternoon, so everybody was on the beach and everybody had their music going. People were just enjoying a Friday afternoon at the beach. And I had the window down, and we were stuck in traffic at one point. And you could hear the salsa coming in from the people listening to it on the beach, and from the back, all the way in the back, I hear TJ goes, "Dad, why is the music so good down here?" And that just like woke something up in me. I'm like, "Yep, the Puerto Rican gene has activated in him." And he loves Bad Bunny. He absolutely adores him. So
that's awesome. I didn't know Bad Bunny until he like started like wrestling, kind of like Logan Paul did. But Bad Bunny is like a complete natural at it.
Well, if you ever want to see him, and actually this is a great movie, is Bullet Train.
I've heard he's good in that. He's in another movie too with Austin Butler.
Yes, but it's coming out in a couple of weeks. I forgot.
I don't remember the name of it. Even I should know the name of it because it kept I just kept getting hit with ads for it. When I was watching something, I don't even remember. But yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad it is nice too. That dude is just like dyed in the wool Puerto Rico, and that's really great.
But he's bringing he's showing the culture in such a positive way.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't help but feel proud that he's doing it.
Yeah.
Is the movie Enemies?
Yes.
Maybe? Okay.
No.
I think Darren Aronofsky directed it, which is kind of odd because it's not like something super surreal. Oh, jeez. Everyone's on IMDb right now.
Caught stealing?
Yes, that's what it is. Caught stealing.
Yep, Caught Stealing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Matt Smith's in that one, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a good it's got a pretty good cast. So
awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to tell my story of how this year is going for me. So, it was like the last week of 2024, I wasn't feeling great. I had this nagging cough, and so I decided to go to urgent care to have it checked out. Turns out I had pneumonia, and they did a chest X-ray on me. What they found in the chest X-ray caused some concern. So they had me do a full scan. Like I had to go to another urgent care, and they did a full CT scan of my lungs, and they found that there was something there. So they were concerned that it could be something. They were concerned it was going to be cancer. So I met with the doctor. They kind of like were preparing me for what the next steps would be to diagnose, just to make sure that we were in, to make sure, and then to have a plan for what we do if in fact it was cancer. So it was just one of those things that the 2 weeks we waited in between the scan and talking to the doctor were harrowing, not just for me, but for Autumn. And
obviously,
talking to the doctor was really good. It helped. We had a great doctor's aide that really helped us out, kind of talked us through stuff, and just really let us know it's not the death sentence it used to be. If anything has to happen, medicine is just amazing right now. You'll be fine. They did So they had to do that thing where they do the full. They run like a dye through your body, and they do a scan on that. I don't remember what it was called, but they do that. So I had like this dye in my system. They gave me like this barium drink to get it to like run through. Um, and they recommended a biopsy. So they found something. They recommended a biopsy, and long story short, it turned out that it was an abscess. It was an abscess sitting on my lung. So thank God, yeah, exactly. Um, and so I got through, and I was all of a sudden I was having like shortness of breath, and I thought, oh, maybe it's just that. Maybe I'm just having a couple of issues with um, with just like the difficulty. I just had a biopsy, for God's sakes. They just pulled something off my lung. Um, I just started getting more and more and more winded, and I noticed when I had to go work in Boston that I walked from North Station to Bowdoin Square. It's about a third of a mile walk. I do that. That's like less than walking around my block. And I couldn't do it. I was constantly stopping. I was getting winded, so I checked with my doctor again. They had me go to urgent care again. They did the scans again, and found out that I had multiple emboli in my lungs, blood clots. So they sent me to the hospital. This is the first time I've ever ridden an ambulance before, and I had no idea how close I was to dying. I was, fortunately, I was blissfully ignorant about the whole thing. But my mother, my dad, rare getting them in the same room. They were there. Autumn was there, and again, long story short, I'm on a lifetime of blood thinners now, but I recovered. And it was just one of those things where, and I really haven't talked that much about it. I told somebody we were at like this vow renewal for some friends of ours. And he's like, I didn't see that on Facebook. I'm like, because I didn't put it on Facebook. I wasn't really going to talk publicly about this because part of it is I don't like being that person on Facebook anymore. I don't want to be like, oh, hey, by the way, here's my tale of woe. Can you please just give me some hearts and hugs? And I just started taking stock of just pulling myself back, being able to, do things I want to do. I ended up, it was kind of nice because the week I got home from the hospital, I got a call. I had interviewed for a job within the company. I had interviewed the job the Friday before I went to the hospital. So I went to the hospital on a Sunday. Friday before that, I interviewed for a job. The next Friday, I get a call and I get offered the job. And I'm like, you have no idea how great of an ending this week is because this whole weekend has been so shitty. So I had that to look forward to. I had the week off in between. And I decided like, I need to do something. I need to do something for myself. I almost never do things for myself anymore. And I'm like, I'm still sitting on birthday money. So I gave myself a little bit of retail therapy. I went to Joe's Albums in Worcester and treated myself to about $150 worth of records. And then like the very next week, I went over to the Vinyl Vault in Littleton and treated myself to more than $100 worth of records. And where my my point of positivity is that I decided to, it's like, I kind of listen to the same records all the time. I buy a record, I'm going to listen to that a bunch of times. I'll listen to some of my newer records. I have well over 100 records. Most are my parents. My dad's gave me his records. My stepmother gave me her records. My mother gave me her records. Like, I haven't listened to so many things in my collection. So I decided that as I was starting my new job and I was doing a lot of onboarding, a lot of like, online trainings and stuff like that. It's like, I'm just going to go left to right in my collection. Doesn't matter what the next record is. It doesn't matter if it kind of fits the mood that I'm in. Left to right. I'm getting through all of them. And I found myself thinking more and feeling closer to both of my parents at a younger age than I think I ever have. I discovered oh my God, my dad freaking loves or loved the Moody Blues. He's still with us, but he doesn't listen to the Moody Blues anymore. He's got at least 6 Moody Blues albums. My mother loves Chicago, and I'm not talking like the You're the Inspiration Chicago. I'm talking like jazz fusion, like the the masturbatory 4-album set at Carnegie Hall from 1971, where it's like, okay, there are no grooves on this side. It is like one track on this side of the album. They just keep going and going. But it was interesting. And then talking to my parents about it, talking about like, oh yeah, I was listening to, I was listening to your album from the Byrds, and I was talking to my stepmother. I'm like, because she had a lot of like sad lady singer music, going, and then being able to integrate that with the stuff that I had. I found a copy of Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run, which was one of my stepfather, who just passed away last year, one of his favorite albums. So it was just one of those things that I felt good. It really brought me up, and it brought me a lot of joy, because this is essentially what I did immediately after flirting with the great beyond a couple of times this year. And I just found that it was just helpful. It was very therapeutic to go and listen to this stuff, and listen to like my records, and finding stuff like I just got a bunch of new records late. I'd gotten like Rio from Duran Duran, so I got to kind of relive that. And I bought the Pulp Fiction soundtrack finally. I got to listen to that.
Nice.
And I had the Batman soundtrack from Prince. And speaking of Prince, I just bought Purple Rain on vinyl. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Was like, I just felt good. And it made me feel alive. And it was just one of those things that really like carried me up from this year. Thank you for attending my TED Talk.
You see, it's stories like that is the reason why I suggested this topic.
Yeah.
That's
Mike. I think Mike, really, you were the only one who knew.
Yeah.
Like Autumn told you, and I think she told Jim. And it's just
I had no idea.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of underplaying things, and especially with my health, and I don't want people worrying about me. And I know that's really like that's martyr talk, but I just
but it's also a reflection of our generation too.
Yeah,
I mean, you and I, and Catherine understands, and to a certain extent, but from our generation, we were still raised like, you keep things to yourself. You don't, if you suffering by yourself, if something's wrong, not everybody needs to know what's going on with you.
Right.
Because I'm the same way too. I do the same thing. It's like, you know what? I got more important things to worry about than myself. So.
Yeah.
And I have the same thing where I'm like, I'm not going to be the drama queen dragging down everybody else's good time.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hi, Kurt.
Kurt says, "You Gen Xers and hiding your emotions."
Yeah, seriously. We grew up in the age of Reagan, Kurt. We weren't allowed to talk about shit.
It's not that we hide our emotions. It's that we hide the wrong emotions.
Right.
We push the bad feelings down deep inside, where they can never, ever find them.
You got to remember, we're also the generation of say anything. So.
No, that's true. Hey, anything can be fixed with a gesture involving music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid I can only hold those boom boxes up for about maybe 5 minutes at most.
Oh, with the amount of diesel. Mike, those things were relatively light. It was the D-cell batteries that really get. Oh God, why the fuck does it?
Well, yeah, but they wouldn't play without that, and you can't hold up a boombox and not have it play.
Well, now you just go the Deadpool route and just do a boombox app on your phone playing this.
Yeah.
So much easier.
Oh. All right. Well, let's move on, and let's hear from Mike. What do you got for us, Mike?
Well, this is probably the most recent moment I've had. Another like after Super Cub, I've been really kind of just whatever Iyashike anime I can find. I've been kind of going with it, and one that I've just gotten into last few weeks or so is one called Non Biori. It's a very, very cute anime. It's just set in this small little rural Japanese town. It's set in this school, and literally there are 5 students in the school. One in 1st grade, one in 5th grade, one in 6th grade, and one in 7th grade, and one in 9th grade. And it really kind of centers around the 5 girls that are 1st grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. And the youngest one is a young girl named Kaede. Renge. And she's very precocious. She's adorable, cute. The first season, it really kind of is based on all 4 of the girls, but I'm on to the 2nd season now, and which basically tells different stories from the same year of the first season, and it's really based more around Renge's. And she seemed to be about the breakout star of the first season. But in the first season, there's another character. She's an older young woman. She also grew up in the town, and now she runs pretty much the only store in the town called, which is the candy store. And the girls all call her Candy Store, but her real name is Kaede. And in the, I want to say the 8th or 9th episode of the first season, they show a flashback to Kaede in high school or in school, and she gets roped into babysitting a toddler Renge. And Kaede is just, she's very like, if you know anime, she's very much a tsundere character, where she appears cold and kind of aloof on the outside, but she's got like a really big heart to her. And so seeing her kind of first try to kind of deal with the baby Renge, and then eventually just kind of seeing them kind of connect. And even when you see like scenes of them all like in modern day, it seems like Renge is kind of like one of the few people that can really kind of get to her and get her to do stuff that she wouldn't normally do. And so just seeing the flashback and seeing Kaede kind of try and take care of Renge, and then just seeing them connect, it's a really beautiful moment. And and eventually like she actually shows up just on her own, saying that she's got a couple ribbons that just happened to be extra in the store, and they're like, no, they weren't. Those weren't extra. Yes, they are. And then she uses them to tie Renge's hair in a couple of pigtails. So it's a really cute and adorable little moment. And and the entire show is just so cute and adorable. And again, one of those just like quiet little shows. And it's just showing these like these 4 girls on little adventures. Doesn't matter that they're so different in age. Well, not that different in age, but they're just like, in fact, the episode I just watched today, that one of the subplots is they find some what was it? Some tadpole shrimp in the local stream, and they put them in a little tank in their in the school classroom. And Renge is taking care of it and feeding them. And then she comes in after on a Friday and finds that they're all dead in the bottom because they're just shrimp. They die real quick. But like, you see how like she doesn't really outwardly cry, but you can tell she's really, really broken up over this. And then one of the older girl, like the 6th grader, who is really kind of like a slacker and doesn't really pay attention to school, but she secretly goes and finds that that the shrimp had actually laid eggs. So she cleans out the tank, she fills it up again, and when they come in on Monday, they find that all the eggs had hatched, and Rangi's just joy at seeing little animals in the tank again. It's so cute, so adorable. Yeah.
Awesome. Is this also Crunchyroll, or is this?
No, this one's actually on High Dive. Crunchyroll does have, I think, the third season, but the first and second season are on High Dive only.
Okay.
But definitely worth it, I think. It's such a cute show.
Awesome. All right. Well, Catherine, you're up.
All right. So Joe introduced us to the Worst of All Possible Worlds podcast.
Yeah.
And that spiraled me into occasionally listening to episodes of The Socialist Shelf.
Okay.
And earlier this year, I think, they covered the Harry Potter books. And so I listened to that because, like, I had friends that were really into Harry Potter, and I got into Harry Potter. We were all into Harry Potter at the time.
Yeah.
And on so they did 3 episodes. They did like the first half of Harry Potter, the second half of Harry Potter, and then they had AJ Diddy from Worst of All Possible Worlds on to talk about The Cursed Child.
Oh God.
And one of the reasons they had him on was because he plays the narrator in Puffs, which is a play based in that world. It's also called Or 7 Increasingly Eventful Years at a Certain School of Magic and Magic. I found out about this year. It was recorded by Fathom Events, and it's available to stream on Amazon and such. And because of the way they threaded copyright law, that TURF and Warner Brothers don't get a dime. All the money goes to the writer of the play and the actors and the crew.
Nice.
So I have rented it a couple times this year already. I thought about buying it, and I was like, if I rent it, they get more pennies. So
nice.
Also, because I have an Amazon Prime card, I use my Amazon Prime points. So actually, Amazon is paying them.
Well, that's even better. It's just that much nicer.
And it's so much fun. So it's telling the story of the Harry Potter books, but it's from the perspective of the Puffs house, which is the Hufflepuff.
Yeah,
which is the best house.
I'm definitely Hufflepuff. The other houses are the Braves, the Smarts, and the Snakes.
Yeah, and Hufflepuff is the ones that get things done.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they play rock music when Cedric Diggory shows up. You know it. And then it's so good. It's the off-Broadway performance, and it's just if you grew up, it's nice to see people that grew up on this story and really loved it, and then are taking ownership back and being like, this is ours now. What you're trying to say, we don't care about. This is what we're making of it. And it's so nice to be like, okay, I'm allowed to appreciate this as long as I don't give that bitch any more money.
And that's, I found that there really is that fine line where, we can still enjoy the movies, we can still enjoy the books pretty much up to Cursed Child. And even so, I know Cicerone and his wife went to go see The Cursed Child on Broadway, and they're like, it wasn't good.
Oh, that is actually
last time I was out in California, John and I almost went out to LA to see it, but then it was like, nah.
It's LA. Yeah, no, that's. But yeah, no, it's nice that they're kind of like, they're taking it back. It's like, okay, bitch, it's not yours anymore. This doesn't belong to you anymore. Right. It belongs,
Yeah, we're gonna tell it our way, and yeah, the way they parallel things is great. It's an ensemble cast, so you have like people playing like different characters, and it's also a crossover between like the books and the movies. So the ensemble member that plays Dumbledore in the first half gets replaced in the second half, and it's like, I'm totally the same person.
That's awesome. Oh, I really want to watch that now.
Yeah, it's so much fun. If if you know about the books and everything, it just the performers bring so much joy and passion, and it's
Nice.
and like you care about these side characters, and it's just great. And yeah,
And I'm sure that these side characters don't have names that sound like they came out of Punch Out, like Joanne had done. It
no,
wouldn't really seem like they're that like the Russian wizarding school is going to have a Soda Popinski in there.
No, it's
the
Magic
three main-
Wandinsky.
the three main characters are Wayne Hopkins, who is the Mugborn.
Okay.
Olive Rivers and Megan Jones are the three main characters.
What do you see, Harry? When there's non-magical folk, we have a name or slur, if you will, for them.
Yeah, it's so
Dog
clever.
approves.
It's so and the recording is so good. So yeah, I watched it on Amazon. It's available streaming elsewhere, but that's where I have it.
I'm sure I could find it if I just look for the funky words on the YouTubes. I'm sure I could find it there.
So it's just a recording of them doing the play?
It's not just a recording. It was done by Fathom Events.
Right.
So it's really well done.
So it's it's well produced and stuff like that.
It's tantamount to like the 4K of Frozen and Hamilton.
Yeah, or the original Broadway cast of Into the Woods, that kind of thing is what we're talking about. And it's a live audience, so you get like some of the audience reaction.
Nice.
It's I love it. Like I said, I've watched it 3 times this year. I'm going to watch it again. And yeah, you can you can buy it on Amazon or wherever. It's a bunch of places because again, Fathom.
Nice.
I'm
gonna check that out then. Awesome. All right. Joe.
Yes.
What you got?
All right. So for my last thing that really kind of brought me joy, and this was actually early in the year before, this was actually kind of a last bit of joy I had before the shit really hit the fan.
Yeah.
And this was, last year when we spoke about, during one of our music episodes, I brought up a band that I discovered thanks to Diane. It was called a band called The Vaccines. And early in this year, January this year, Diane and I went to go see them at I forgot the name of the venue, but it was like this old ballroom, this old ballroom that had been converted into a concert hall. But we went to go see the band, the Vaccines. And the reason it brought me joy and why I enjoyed it so much is this was like the first time Diane and I had gone out on a date, just the two of us, in so long, where we could just be a couple. We weren't parents. We weren't Joe and Diane, people you work with and stuff like that. We were just a couple having a night out, enjoying each other's company on a date.
Oh,
nice.
Awesome.
And we had so much fun, and the band was so good. I mean, it was one of the best concerts I've been to, just because there was so much energy and it was so much fun, and like I say, we just had a good time, And it's like one of those things like, okay, yeah, if you're in a relationship, it helps to go out every once in a while just by yourself, just to like leave life behind for a few hours.
I agree fully.
So it's just, it's a small thing, but it brought me so much joy at the beginning of the year.
Awesome.
And then 2 days later, the shit hit the fan.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, sucks. Oh, sorry, but yeah, no. And I listened to after you talked about the Vaccines. I did go and listen to them. I pulled them up on Spotify and had to subject Scarlett to it while I was driving. I was driving her to school. She's got no choice. When I asked her, "What do you want to listen to?" She's like, "Oh, you're driving, whatever."
Okay,
you got no choice anyway.
Yeah. All right. I've got. Yeah, no, we're kind of down to 3 here. I do want to bring up like 2 honorable mentions before I go into my final one here. And I'm kind of cheating a little bit, I understand. But for my honorable mentions, I do want to say I loved Fantastic Four. Again,
Oh,
it brought
haven't
me a
seen it
lot of,
yet.
oh, it's so good. It really legitimately, it just, I mean, I don't have a problem with what Marvel's doing right now. And I'm just now I have to like put on my producer's hat, my glasses, and go. Well, you see, people don't go to movies the way they used to anymore. Most people consume movies by streaming and blah 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 blah. Which is why none of these movies cracked $1 billion this year.
Right.
But that brought me some joy. The Star Wars television of this year brought me
So good.
immense joy. Between Skeleton Crew, I loved going to rehearsal, and John from Shakespeare in Love and I would just talk about Skeleton Crew because it was what it needed to be. It needed to be the Goonies in outer space, and it was. Andor. While I was recovering, I got the first 2 weeks of 3 episodes each of Andor. Again, on the edge of my seat, something that we can talk about later when we really get into a deeper dive there. I wouldn't say it gave me joy more than it gave me something to look forward to every week, because I was like, I have 3 hours of Andor I got to watch now. But for my final one, I'm going to go personal again here, and it is my current theatrical endeavor. I am directing The Nerd, which is a show that I did my freshman year of college. I played the titular nerd because if you were going to put money on any role that I would have played in that show, and it was one of those things where I was a freshman. It was the first semester that I got cast, so I didn't know anybody. I mean, I knew people and I had known, but it really allowed me to get to know who became like my best friend at Lewisburg, Deacon. Because he played against me in it, and we had a great time with the show. And it was one of those things that was kind of like, as a freshman, I got recognized really, really fast. I won an award, a year-end award for doing it, and it was one of these shows that has been on my list since I got back into theater that I wanted to direct. And I finally convinced the group I've been directing with for the last couple of years. They were like, I don't have any ideas. We can do 1-act plays. And I'm like, we're not going to do a 1-act play. No one's going to come see 1-act plays. We're going to do a show where the cast is small enough that we can get enough people to audition where we actually might get some quality talent in here. With that said, this is probably the best cast I've ever assembled.
Nice.
They are amazing. They're just all incredible. It helps too that I know practically everybody. 2 of the people I had never met before auditions, and they're both awesome. But Jim is in it.
Yep.
Jim hasn't acted since 2018. He is in it. He's hilarious. James, my son, is in it because I needed a kid, and I'm like, I'm not gonna trust some adult to bring their child there and have to deal with their schedule. I know James's schedule. He's in it.
You can drive him there and back again.
Exactly. I just feel bad because he gets stuck there because he's only in the first act. The mother, Scarlett's boyfriend's mother, is in it. And she is just so wonderful. She's a great person anyway, but she's really funny. And this other woman, Margot, who did All Bark No Bite with me a couple of years ago, she's in it. And it's just like I love the cast. I love the fact. Peter, who plays the nerd, he's playing my role, and I gave him my speech when I cast him. I'm like, listen. You heard my speech at the auditions. I've done this role before. I am trusting you to make this your own. I promise you I'm not going to tell you what to do other than maybe finessing things. I want you to find this character, and he's doing such a good job with it. But it is just like every rehearsal, we laugh, we have a great time. It really is a high point, which is great because last year when I directed Almost Maine, every rehearsal was stressful. Just people were, I don't want to say everybody was unreliable because there's some really good people there, but there were some people that were kind of unreliable. I was also dealing with the death of my grandmother, and it was just like there was a lot going on. This has brought me immense joy. I'm so happy. This is definitely a dream come true. If you are friends with me on Facebook, by the way, I did post our promotional video for it. So check that out because I'm very proud of my work because I put that together myself.
Nice.
Yeah, so go find it and do it, and then go see the show because it's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be super fun. It's a hilarious comedy, and I'm so happy I get to return to this world after Christ, almost 35 years. Oof. It's supposed to be positive, and now I'm like I'm like that Matt Damon. I'm like that Matt Damon gif from Saving Private Ryan, where he just ages in a second. But yeah, no, that's my final positive point here.
Okay. I guess I'm next.
Yes. I'm sorry.
I've got two more picks, and I'm not making either one an honorable mention because these are the 2 points that I mainly had in mind when I came up with this topic.
Okay.
The first is a moment from the 7th episode of the second season of Hell of a Boss. This is, the not really spin-off, but sister show of Has-Been Hotel. And the 7th episode is called Mammon's Mid-Season Musical something. It's something like that. It's a really long title, but it's actually based around a character that you've only met a few times, and the character's name is Fizzaroli, voiced by Alex Brighton, by the way, who I just got his autograph for. And he has a song in this episode. It's the final song of the episode, and basically all along the episode, you learn more about Fizzaroli's kind of backstory, and he's he is a clown in the circus of Mammon, who is the embodiment of the 7 deadly sins of greed. And Mammon has kind of made him into this star, but in doing so, he's been like just manipulating him. He's been just taking everything he's been using Fizzaroli to make himself even richer. It's because he's greed. But he's manipulative, he's insulting, he's like so passive aggressive, and he's just been browbeating Fizz down. And thanks to some encouragement by Fizz's boyfriend, Asmodeus, who is the personification of lust, Fizz finally, in his final song of the episode, he is called 2 Minutes Notice. Basically, he's telling them he quits. But the song is also, there's another title for the song, and it's the primary chorus of it, in which Fizzaroli is saying very unabashedly, "Mammon, fuck you." The entire chorus is, "Fuck you, here's my 2 minutes notice, fuck you." And it's such a great moment because you've spent the entire episode seeing him just have these moments of these huge panic attacks, these moments of self-doubt, where he doesn't think he's ever going to be good enough to be the boyfriend of the personification of lust. And finally, Asmodeus has to sit him down and say, "Look, I love you for who you are. It doesn't matter if you're the best clown in the world. I love you because you're you." And that's what kind of allows him to have this moment of taking back his own power. And it's such... I showed the song to Jonna. She'd never seen any Hell of a Boss. She saw Has-Been Hotel and loved it, but she'd never seen any Hell of a Boss. But I just showed her that song, and it was stuck in her head for so long. She loves it. She made sure that I told Alex Brightman that she's a big fan of his as well.
Awesome.
But yeah, it just, you can watch just the song online, and pretty much everything you need to know about Fazoli's backstory he gives you in the first few minutes, and it makes just his breakout, his taking back his power, it makes it so much stronger. It's a wonderful song.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, my kids were excited to hear that you met Alex Brightman, because especially James, obsessed with the Beetlejuice soundtrack.
Yeah, super nice guy.
Nice. I think, Catherine, you're closing us out here, because Joe did his, because we both did Superman.
I've got one more.
Oh, you got one more after that? Okay. Well, let Catherine have a turn, and then you can come back.
Yes.
All right. Well, so this is media related and not remotely recent media. So I'm helping clean out my mom's house. She's still living there, but we're just trying to downsize and go through all the old stuff, because she's got her stuff and stuff we've left there. There's not much of that. And then her sibling, her brother died and her parents died, and she's like, "Oh, this stuff is all very good. We could just do something with it." So now we're dealing with all of that. And so we were going through the closet of the room that was briefly my room, because we moved there 2 weeks before I went to college. And we're going through all the stuff on the shelves, and then on the upper shelf there were these plastic tubs full of things. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then behind the plastic tubs, which I had never delved behind in decades and decades, I see some school notebooks, 3-ring binders labeled English. So I'm grabbing those, and then I feel under them things that aren't notebooks. They're thin. They're records. I found, I don't know if I've brought this up on the podcast before, but the George Carlin records, Andy, that you gave me back in high school.
Oh, awesome.
I found those earlier this summer. And
nice.
Yeah. And also stashed in there was obviously the John Denver Muppet Christmas album.
Well, of course, yeah.
And her soundtrack of Alice's Restaurant, which has the Massacre Part 1 on side 1 and Part 2 on side 2, with music from the score on either side. So this is the version of the Alice's Restaurant Massacre that I grew up on, which is not the same one that got played every year on BCN. It's not the one that most people know. It's a little bit different. So it's oh my God. And of course my 20-odd Sesame Street records.
Nice.
But yeah. And they're in the upstairs, and there's no attic, so it's not well regulated. But I think because they were tucked in a corner and they had notebooks on top of them, they're all in great shape. The George Carlin records play great. The Alice's Restaurant plays great. The Sesame Street records play as well as they can, given how much I scratched them when I was a child.
Yes. Oh, we were all savages with our records when we were children.
Yeah. The later ones, or the ones I didn't care about, are in much better shape.
Yeah.
The Roosevelt Franklin album, I'm sure, is fine. I haven't played it again yet. The
Roosevelt Franklin is my name.
Yeah. The Oscar album of Let a Frown Be Your Umbrella is in pretty good shape. Sesame Disco.
Nice.
It's in good shape. But no, it was I went home and I was Joe was away on his annual trip, my husband, and it was all right. And I'm I just put on George Carlin, and I was I have been digging up these recordings on YouTube, and it's I could just listen to it now without having to worry about, because I don't pay for YouTube. It's I don't have to worry about ads. I don't have to worry about anything. I just get to listen, and it's
nice.
Yeah, I'd been looking around and I couldn't find them, and it turned out it was because they were behind a thing on the top shelf under other things.
as they are wont to be.
I think you gave them to me when I was like the assistant director on a Mad Breakfast.
It might, maybe, yeah. I think I came to you for your birthday or something. Your birthday's, your birthday's in May. Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. Yeah, no,
because in the basement we were listening at the theater, we were listening to What Am I Doing in New Jersey, and you're like,
yeah.
You like George Carlin? Here's some albums.
Here's some records, yeah, which I probably bought at Wexrex in their first iteration.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, they're
more. Oh, I think that's the only place I could get records at that point. I do want to, a little side note here about found records. So, I mentioned listening to every record. There was one record from my mother's collection that was completely unopened. Like, we got it from the Columbia House Record Tape Club. It had never, I had never broken the seal on the cellophane.
Oh, wow.
You know what it was?
What?
Ray Parker Jr.'s Chartbusters.
He had more than one?
He had a ton of hits on the R&B.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was just like one of those things that I know why we got it. We got it from Columbia House because it was going to have Ghostbusters on it, right? It has got possibly the worst mix of Ghostbusters I have ever heard in my life. But the album is a trip because it's very Ray has a very sincere voice, and then there's this real funkadelic type of aliens from outer space finding funky love or whatever. And it's just if you go on Spotify and just look for just Ray Parker Jr. and just look for anything from space or whatever, you will find it. And it's just what the hell? And there was a Christmas song on there too. I'm like, oh God, it's almost summer. Why am I listening to this? But yeah, no, the record was obviously in pristine condition because nobody in 45 years listened to it, or 40 years rather, had listened to it ever. That was a penny well spent. So, anywho. Okay, Mike, you got one more.
Well, we do have one last comment from Kurt here.
Oh, yes.
He says, one more bright spot for me before you all go for the night. The Bears season 4 rocked my world this year.
Oh, God. I haven't watched any of The Bear because I've worked food service, and I'm also kind of miffed that it's still considered a comedy in the eyes of the Emmys, when everything I've heard about it is clearly not comedy.
No, it is not a comedy. No.
It's a comedy in the same method as Jaws is a comedy.
Yes.
Well, it's a comedy in the same way that Shameless was a comedy.
Oh, yeah. Or Orange is the New Black was a comedy.
Yeah, that kind of.
Speaking of something that gives me joy, I love the fact that Danielle Brooks is constantly getting good work. She was my favorite on Orange is the New Black. She was actually really good in Minecraft, and she's just awesome in Peacemaker. I've said enough. So
you said all that needed to be said.
Yeah, I adore her. So continue.
All right, but anyway, my final pick is it's from another anime. This is the anime called Bocchi the Rock. It is easily the best anime I've seen, possibly ever. Honestly, it is so amazingly good. The main character is a young woman. She's in high school, named Hitori. And she's an extreme introvert with massive social anxiety. So already I kind of connect with her because I have a bit of social anxiety myself.
Yeah.
But her socially, but she desperately wants to have friends and actually speak to people. And so in middle school, she sees an interview with a band, a famous band on TV, and one of them mentions that he was an introvert in high school as well, and learning to play the guitar and be in a band helped him really come out of his shell. And so she decides, hey, sounds good, I will give it a shot. So for 3 years in middle school, she spends 6 hours a day, every day, learning to play guitar like nobody's business. And yet, when she gets to high school, she still has no friends. Her social anxiety doesn't allow her to actually play music in front of anybody. So all she does is she plays like covers online anonymously under the code name Guitar Hero.
Oh.
That was suggested to her by her dad. But just like she brings her guitar into school one day, hoping that somebody will just start talking to her because she can't start conversations on her own, and no one does. So she walks home dejectedly. She just like ends up sitting alone in a little park.
Mm-hmm.
And some girl just randomly runs up to her and says, "You have a guitar. Our guitarist just ran out on us. Will you play for us?" And so she drags her along, and she just joined this small little band called Kasoku Band. And Kasoku Band is actually Japanese for zip tie. And Kasoku means unity. So it's Unity Band. Kasoku Band is zip ties. It's kind of a pun thing. But her social anxiety is so bad that when she actually plays with her new bandmates for the very first time, she can't play on the stage, out in the open. So they give her a huge giant box to play inside, and she just plays from inside there. And then, like as time goes on, they get a fourth member who can actually sing, and the band finally comes together. And by the 8th episode, they have their very first official concert. But unfortunately, a typhoon comes through Tokyo at the time. And so there's like maybe 10 people in the entire club coming to see them. And well, actually, most of them are there to see other groups. So they're the opening act. Nobody cares about them, except a couple of fans that Bochi has. And just hearing all of the down comments and all that really breaks all of their spirits, except for Bochi. Hitori, they call her Bochi because Hitori Bochi is Japanese for all alone, and they kind of give her that as a nickname. But anyway, as they play their first song, it's kind of cool in the anime because they actually do kind of a slightly off tune version of the music of the song. So you can tell that they're actually they're all really kind of nervous, and their spirits of morale is down because of all the comments and the low turnout and the typhoon. And after they play the first song, like they hear like the comments saying, whatever. So, but they're determined to push on. But before they get to that song, Bochi just decides, no, we're not going to do this. And she just slams onto her guitar and just plays out this massive just guitar solo, just out of nowhere. And this is a girl that had to play from inside a box the first time she got on stage. So to see her do that, and to see that her break all the others out of their their down spirits, and so that they can actually play the rest of their set successfully. I'm not gonna lie, every time I watch that bit, it makes me start to tear up, because you just spend the entire just the 8th episode of a 12 episode season, and you spend the first 7 episodes see Bochi just see how bad her social anxiety is, how much she's just kind of retreated into herself. And to see her decide that, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. My friends need me to step up. It's a really, really amazing moment. And amazingly enough, that's actually not even the most emotional moment of that episode, but I'm not going to spoil it anymore. But yeah, so I cannot recommend Bochi the Rock enough. It's on Crunchyroll. But yeah, It's an amazing series. It's hilariously funny, and like they make light of Ochi's social anxiety, but it never makes fun of her.
Right.
It's more of like in seeing all of her friends kind of like band around her and learn how to deal with her when she has these like panic attack episodes. It's really, really touching, and just the entire series is so amazing. But the 8th episode is by far the standout. So, and like I said, that and the Hell of a Boss moment are the reasons I wanted to do this episode so much, because both of those moments especially gave me such joy this year that I wanted to be able to share it with everybody.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that finishes us off, right? I'm not leaving anybody out, am I?
Nope.
Awesome. All right, cool. All right, well, thank you so much, Kurt. Thanks for joining us and sharing some of your positive notes. Hopefully there is something in your life that is giving you some positivity as we continue to go the long, long walk.
Yeah.
So next episode, we are going to be doing something about Halloween. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
At some point. But anyway, so if you have any ideas, let us know. You can find us on the socials. We're on we're at Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast and on Blue Sky at Geek Salad Radio. If you like what you heard here, obviously subscribe to the podcast wherever you're getting your podcast from, but also go to our YouTube channel where you can not only get what you're listening to right now if you're listening to our live stream, but you can also get the pro version of this as well as Mike and my weekly retro movie reviews. Just before you came on, we recorded our talk of the documentary Jaws at 50, where we talked all about, we get to just gush about Jaws for some more, but we always have new stuff coming up, new themes for every month and everything like that. So go check that out, Geek Salad Podcast on YouTube. And I think I actually got everything. So folks, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
I'm Joe.
I'm Catherine.
Go forth and be nerdful. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.